नमस्कार, आप सुन रहे हैं ये पुस्तक बक ब्लू पर।
Chapter 8 Fitness of Mind and Body. The human body is the best picture of the human soul. Tony Robbins. There are many definitions of happiness and pleasure. Happiness we get from what we have done, whereas pleasure is felt in the act that we do. The mind can be rejuvenated with the kind of deeds we do if we interact with people positively. We live in the world with ourselves, but when we dive deep into the inner world, we discover our thoughts, feelings, and actions, which we need to exalt through meditation, yoga, or in any pursuit of art, painting, singing, playing games, exercising, any form of activity where we put our full concentration, where mind becomes one with the activity and the divine soul. When we do what we love and develop a cosmic consciousness and are aware of the thoughts, feelings, and actions, our minds are elevated and we realize a perennial flow of happiness. Meditation and yoga is a process to forget oneself through techniques enabling an inward journey of the mind which has tremendous health and mental benefits. My favorite being laughter yoga. Can you laugh for no reason? Actually, you can. And that will make you feel much better. One should develop a sense of humor which is so uniquely human and appreciate the lighter side of life. It reduces stress and erases arrogance. My fellow coach, Kelsey de Waal from the Netherlands, has shared with me few insights regarding meditation. She is an instructor and has this to say about rejuvenating your mind and body in regards to meditation. Setting time for yourself in seclusion is mandatory to know what is going on in your body and mind. Meditation releases old pains which we are not aware of on a deep level. If the tension in mind is released, then the same happens for the body too. You become your own healer. Meditation is the highest practice for self-development. When you start your day by consciously focusing on yourself, your body and mind, you will be more conscious about what happens for the body too. You become your own healer. When you start your day by consciously focusing on yourself, your body and mind, you will be more conscious about what happens around you and within you. You can feel, observe, and let the feelings flow through you, instead of getting stuck or being controlled by your emotions and thoughts. Meditation will not destroy thoughts or emotions. Nor is it a very relaxed thing to do if you are a beginner. It requires consistent work. Relaxation is a byproduct. Thoughts will be there, and emotions too. Your aim is to only increase the silent moments between the thoughts and feel your emotions fully. This results in better communication and expression towards others and yourself. As a result, you get a clear mind instead of an endless rattling mind. You will see your thoughts and emotions and will be able to identify them as being helpful or harmful. In this way, you can consciously choose to listen to what is happening within your mind. The more you practice that, the more your busy rattling mind becomes a great tool to work with. However, a rattling mind, harmful thoughts or uncontrollable thoughts and emotions can still be your experience and also need to be embraced by you. Nothing is good or bad. The more you give your love or silent awareness to everything that is within you, the more everything starts to settle down. Just watch. Be aware. Stay still as the deep ocean looking at her waves. As your mind becomes clearer and you realize that awareness is all there is, you will become more productive and focused on the things you have to do. You also feel the emotions more clearly, and as a result, you can express yourself clearly about how you feel about a certain situation. You won't be occupied with unnecessary thoughts. Freedom from unnecessary thoughts will result in being more energetic throughout your day. Your response towards external influences will not be a reflex or fear, but a conscious act rooted in calmness and acceptance. Ending the day with meditation clears your mind and gives room for new ideas to flow in like magic. You will wake up in the morning with new insights. These new ideas and deeper insights open up a gateway of possibilities. Meditation also gives you a tremendous amount of trust in the universe and a feeling of oneness. What are you willing to do to bring more consciousness into your life? I meditate daily in the morning before breakfast and at night before sleep. Furthermore, as an art form, It requires the practitioner to call upon every aspect of his the physical, emotional, intellectual, and intuitive sensibilities to put together a package that captures the audience's hearts and minds. There is much in dance that is challenging, at the same time gratifying. Learning a structured and formalized dance form requires tremendous discipline, both physical and mental. Unless you find yourself to pursue a certain regimen, you cannot improve upon your art and practice in the long term. Successful and renowned dancers, both in the Indian and Western world of dance, will vouch for that. This discipline and willpower over a period of time engenders in the practitioner a certain mental, emotional, and spiritual equilibrium. Studies have proven how dance prevents aging and keeps the body and mind young. Bathory answer he downplayed. As a dancer who has studied various dance forms, both Indian and global, I can say without the shadow of a doubt that while dance is demanding, it is this very demanding nature of it that helps one find one's core. I asked some of my friends what were the ways they tried to find relaxation other than the conventional ways. Sapna Agarwal, my fellow coach, wrote the following to me. As I began writing my daily journal, Lama came up to me. Peeping into my diary, she inquisitively asked me, "Mama, you love writing the most? Or do you love running more? Or do you love deep breathing the most?" Her queries made me think, can I actually put a number or ranking on what I love the most? I think I cannot, as all these activities have a place and space in my life, and none can replace the other in any way. Lema left the room as her friend called her out for an evening doll play. It sent an inquiry within me, and I thought of penning down what it takes to lead a happy, fulfilling, and enriching life for me. Of course, we all have different avenues and areas, and we explore and make them our source of everlasting happiness. One thing which is of utmost importance here is we can never derive or place our life's happiness on one object, person, hobby, or passion. What I feel is when all the areas of our lives come together into what we do at various levels make us happy and fulfilled. One physical of them: fitness, has, exercise. Running and strength workout as humans were made to move, from our forefathers millennials to the now. A lot has changed in how we deal with and see life, but the elementary thing which can give you utmost joy and happiness is movement. With the increase in our comfort levels and consumerism, our need to move has reduced over time. With this, there is an ever-increasing need to keep moving to maintain health and a basic standard of fitness. Personally, for me, I can never emphasize enough, running has been a great source of sustenance in the myriad use of my life. I feel I am a better human, mom, wife, and daughter after I come back from a run. The endorphin release is truly worth it. But to each his own. It can be Zumba for some, while others might find yoga and cycling to give them that nectar. If I ask myself, is running that which sums up my source of joy alone? Definitely not. I am a social being and love being with my friends and family. The value of spending time on sweet nothings can never be enough. It is therapeutic to let your hair down when your friend circle makes you groove. Similarly, with family around, a sense of security and feeling of belonging keeps you warm and protected. When you come back to your family after a hard day, it feels valuable. At other times, when you enjoy or indulge in activities which make you forget the concept of time, is very fundamental in bringing that rejuvenation back into your life. Smelling lilies, sitting at the window side and enjoying a cup of hot coffee, reading the next best thriller, watching movies lying on the couch with a tub of popcorn, playing guitar, or singing soulful melodies. These are some of mine, while others might have their own. So often, we get so caught up in the fast-paced life that we forget to breathe. We are always racing towards the next thing. I project meeting. There is never a dull or rather slow moment in our lives. It is important to be fast, but that we need to mindfully slow down too. Investment in learning a new hobby or simply taking up a course to upgrade your skills is also of paramount importance. When we are open to learning, we grow. It is not in practicing gratitude, but in feeling it from the core of your being. This difference is the game changer. It brings me unfathomable joy. I am thankful to Almighty and people around me for making me who I am today. Life is not beautiful when you reach a destination, but its beauty is more often hidden in enjoying the process and in what the process makes you out to be. Travel experience is also a therapy for the mind. I love to travel. After every trip, I come back totally rejuvenated in body and mind. On one such trip, I discovered a new me who could express myself in writing and read into people's minds and discover the way to rewire my mind. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. Saint Augustine. My childhood was spent experiencing different smells of the soil of life due to the frequent transferable occupation of my parents. Just as the earth moves around its own axis, I too joined in the spin, being married to a defense officer, and saw the sprawling deserts, roaring seas and the towering mountains all over India. Many lands with their distinct flavors thus shaped my formative years and early adulthood. Time is moving at lightning speed, and with this there is ever-increasing research, technology, and invention. It is only rightful to keep in tune with the time. When we learn, we can scale up our game and move forward. I like learning new technology, reading new books, and at times taking up hobby courses. What is therapy for someone might be irksome task for another. It is individual choice, and there can't be one formula that fits all. Above everything that I have tried, the greatest and the most everlasting I have ever got is in expressing gratitude. Wherever I have been in my life, I have always felt grateful to God for getting me there. There is a reason why we meet people, experience strange incidents, or fall into traps. We can't see explicitly what is the reason behind what happens. I believe the higher self knows everything, and it is always in our best interest. Gratitude is a sure-shot way to attract abundance in your life. Travel became part and parcel of my life, and the thirst for travel became more and more pronounced as the years went by. Though I know that I cannot shrink the world, nor is it possible to visit all the places on this planet, a few items in a wish list always remained in my mind. Egypt was one such destination, but it always eluded me. After many years of planning and a strong desire to visit the land of the pharaohs made me embark on the journey after meticulous planning, checking out many travel agents and advisors. At last the day arrived when my husband and I boarded the Egyptian Airlines, anxious in anticipation to see the land of my dreams, where I had fantasized that I was the pretty slave girl with raven hair, giving water to the captive slaves who built those formidable pyramids. An overdose of historical and biblical cinemas that fanned my imagination. We stepped out of the airport and were greeted by Ivan, our guide, a Coptic Christian who would remain with us till the end of the cruise along the historical River Nile, and was already filling me up with stories of the early settlers and many historical facts in chronological order. The days flew past in a panoramic whirl. It was a feast to the eyes and succor for the mind, while the vast expanse of the hot sun-kissed sands, adorned by the majestic pyramids, constructed with geometric precision, formed a tall backdrop beside the monolithic statues, as the snub-nosed Sphinx stood sentinel over the city, looking down at us puny mortals. Flying along with the birds during the balloon ride, we looked down at the valley of the kings and queens, trying to find the catacombs where lay the mighty pharaohs and their queens in eternal sleep. A land where death is evoked with reverence. Every day, the kaleidoscopic view of the land slowly unfolded its new mysteries, which will be etched in my mind forever. The narrow alleyways with their hookah bars, the salesmen are trying to entice the visitors with genuine and fake artifacts with equal gusto. The sparkling perfume jars of Abu Simbel, murals and frescoes revealing the ancient history of Egypt, of their glorious victories and disastrous defeats. The sienna-blue Mediterranean Sea, hugging the road where once the great Alexander rode his mighty horses, all came alive as if the history textbook came alive in front of my eyes. The serene Coptic churches, a treasure house of an ancient era, the ornate dome of the mosque were all a feast for the traveler's eyes. 10 days were not enough to capture the essence of the land. The last evening of the journey drew near, sitting on the deck of the liner and seeing the mighty blue Nile dashing against the ship with an eternal lap, lap as if asserting its eternal presence and telling me so many tales of yore. I watched and wondered whether the fathomless Nile swelled up with tears of the slaves who toiled to build the wonders of the world. The majestic pyramids? Did the grand processions of the dead with their pomp and customary grandeur go to their final destination along this way? Maybe the Queen of Egypt Cleopatra went for an evening sojourn in the Nile. And who did she accompany? The gallant warrior Mark Antony, or the fearless conqueror Caesar? The oceanic river carried so many tales buried deep down. I wondered what sorrows or treasures it was hiding in its fathomless bosom. As I heard the dinner gong, I went down to the dining hall dressed in an Egyptian attire to attend the Last Supper for the guests. It was a grand local affair with a lavish spread of cuisines from different countries, along with Egyptian drums and pipes playing for the graceful belly dancers doing the camel walk around the hall and dancing to their tune. A sweet perfume of the lilies of the land and the aroma of the food with the din music and revelry gave a giddy feeling of excitement. My husband and I went to our table where our dining mates were waiting. A stocky American soldier with his Hellenistic-looking Macedonian long-necked girlfriend. Every evening at dinner we would exchange our touring notes as they were with another travel agency. But this meeting was different, as we bade farewell to familiar and to not-so-familiar faces, exchanged phone numbers and addresses, knowing that we may never meet again. We hurriedly packed our bags to board our flight back home. I felt as if we were the chosen few in Noah's Ark and were going to our promised land. When I settled down in New Delhi with my numerous bags full of souvenirs, gifts and a host of memories, I could not help comparing notes of two mighty civilizations, so similar in many ways, yet so unique in their own ways. I lay back in a stupor, trying to sink in everything from the splendid journey. I could hear a faraway, repetitive tone of Miss George, our teacher of history, saying, "Girls, it's Tutankhamun and Nefertiti and not Nefertiti." I could hear myself say aloud, "Miss, I just saw it all." "Hey, are you dreaming, Gum?" nudged my husband as I woke with a start and started rubbing my eyes. And would you believe what the first thing I saw was? A travel magazine and the same wanderlust tempting me. How can I stay away from turning the pages of glossy pictures of unknown destinations? What will it be, the mountains, desert, or the sea the next time? I know I have the travel bug. There are cures for many bugs that affect our health, but none for the travel bug, and thank God for that. As I was unpacking, I knew I had a lot to do, checking out travel agents, surfing the net, information from friends, scrounge next and save, for I knew it would be the mountains time. After all, in the end, we only regret the chances we did not take.
अभी आप सुन रहे थे ये पुस्तक बक ब्लू पर। आपको ये किताब कैसी लगी कमेंट में हमें जरूर बताएं। साथ ही स्क्रीन पर दिए गए सभी प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर हमको फॉलो करना ना भूलें। धन्यवाद।